Good. So let's just go there. Should we just reverse? Okay, so our key learning for today is message. And yeah, we'll kick into that now. So did you know that 74% of marketers say that targeted personalization increases customer engagement? And that doesn't necessarily mean, hi, Sally. What it means is you understand me and my problems, so you direct a message that's more personalized and specific to me, okay? As Tom Abbott says it well, people don't buy features, they buy benefits. Features answer the question, what is it? Benefits answer the question, what's in it for me? Okay, and especially, I'll just reiterate, in the digital capacity that we're in, people are overwhelmed by messages, people are overwhelmed by media, so they fine-tune and kind of go through things that are relevant to them. If it's not in their capacity or not in their frame of mind, they just simply ignore it. So that's why we need to define that audience to create that message that's relevant to get his or her attention. We don't throw them our features. I can guarantee you, not statistically, but I can guarantee you from my experience, 80% of websites are feature-driven websites. We always want to put our best features out into the market and hoping people are going to find that attractive because it's the fastest, it's the biggest, but people don't really care. So we need to take that step back and understand who's our audience and what it is that they want and create benefit-driven content on our websites rather than feature-driven content. Okay, so let's just quickly define what's the difference between features and benefits, because I know we typically understand it, but just so we can just understand from a messaging point of view what the difference is. So features are something that your product has or is, okay? That's what it is. These can include characteristics such as speed, price, specifications, okay? So on most motor industry stuff as well, you obviously do see specifications and features because that's just how that market sells. Yes, it does work in a tire industry as well, because obviously people want longevity and they want Michelin or whatever it may be. But unfortunately, we can't just say that because every other tire company out there says the same thing, okay? So how do we break through that? We rather talk benefits because it's obviously an emotional level state. But features are important, don't get me wrong, okay? But just because you know why your product will make your ideal customer's life better doesn't mean that they do. Okay, that's the big thing. So that's why feature-driven content alone does not sell. So let's talk a little bit about benefits. Benefits are the outcomes or results that users will, hopefully, get or experience by using your product or service. The very reason why the customer or prospective customer became a customer in the first place, okay? So features describe what the product does. So let's not avoid that, and that's important to note, and I'll explain in a bit how to still use your feature. But I always say don't start with your feature. Okay, so it describes what the product does, setting it apart from the competition. The benefits describe the how the product can help the audience. So it is better to go with the benefits approach because the benefits have that emotional connection. And that is really what gets the clients hooked in, makes them purchase, buy, commit, book, and so forth, to take action. Okay, and that is the personalization part of it, is it's that person is really speaking to me, okay? And so you pay more attention. Whereas if it's just a generic message about a feature, it could really apply to everyone, but we all know we've got different pain points for different sections or sectors, industries, vice versa. Okay, so what should you say, not sell? So we say features sell, benefits tell. Feature-based marketing, yes, does work, and in certain industries, it's what most people will only look at, and product lines, for example, the motor industry. However, for many small businesses like ourselves, identifying and highlighting how your products and services can improve the lives of your customer is often so much more powerful. And it just makes it so much more personal, because then you can tell that story and rather selling a solution, because everyone can sell a solution. That's the easiest job, right? We all got a product, we've all got a solution, we've all got a service. It's easy to just sell it. It actually takes a bit of work understanding what's the audience, what's the pain point, and how can we benefit. But when you get to that point of your messaging, then you start personalizing and drawing in the right audience and actually getting attention. So always remember what's in it for your customer. Nobody cares who you are. They're the hero. We've got to worry about what they want, what they need. Okay, so we're just going to look at a few features and benefits in action, because yes, you will now be aware, oh, that's a feature-driven ad, that's a benefit-driven ad, or vice versa. But there's a lot of feature-driven advertising still. Okay, so yes, as I mentioned, definitely in the space of motor industry, I guess it's because it's a man's world, features are important, so more than a backup camera, audible warning, that's feature-driven advertising. Yes, you can still bring in your benefit-driven content, but that obviously the headline is very, very feature-driven. Okay, this is a benefit-driven headline. How much Slack has helped you reduce internet email? Why? Because there is a pain, okay? How much Slack has helped you reduce meetings? There's a pain. People complain about the amount of email. People complain about the amount of meetings. So this is how Slack gets attention. They don't say the best email system yet or the best online meeting system. Okay, they're kind of addressing a pain issue to draw in attention. This is a bit of a twofold, so a bit of a pain and a bit of a benefit, a feature-driven headline. So yes to vacation views, no to annual fees. Okay, but it still gets a little bit of tension. And then obviously you've got your benefit-driven content by your 2 points, 1 points. Okay. This one is a very, very obvious one. So feature is sunscreen 30. Benefit, I can stay out in the sun for longer without getting burnt. Okay. Now, I always use this one because for me, which one appeals to you immediately? I would say the benefit one is generally more popular. Why? Because you don't have to put a picture of the product. You've got a story to tell that's relevant to why you actually do buy the product. Okay. This is another favorite of mine. So we know low calorie, right? That's the feature. But what is the real benefit? Let's guess. Yep, you guessed right. Look better than that from the accounting at the end of your party kind of thing. So it's taking that feature and turning it into something quite specific to a very specific audience, let's guess women. And that just creates emotion, right? We all had a bit of a giggle there and went, wow, that was quite cool, rather than low calorie, So how to construct this now message based on thinking, okay, I can't drive my features because that's what I know, right? I actually have to convert my features into benefits. But how do you do that? So number one, know your target market. Okay, so I know that's actually another session on its own. But anyway, for the time being, know who your target market is. Okay, so if in the last 6 months you've sold most of, let's just say for Tanya, for example, because I can see her, most of your clients in the last 6 months have been creatives. You decide that you're going to focus your marketing messaging on creatives. Be specific. Reno and I went on a course last night together. So we know, be specific, who's your audience. Identify what their pain points are. They can have 1, they can have 15 pain points, but you know why they're buying or using your services. So jot down a couple of pain points, 1 to 3 pain points. Why are they looking for services? I'm just thinking the printing that Melanie's on here. What is their pain? They're obviously trying to get more customers. They're trying to get their brand out there, the awareness. Okay. What benefits do you offer them? So take their pain and build that into a benefit. So like Mel and I were talking yesterday in terms of their paper quality. You know, they like to understand what is the need for the client so that they then can kind of refer the best paper, the best size, which works best in whichever area they want to use the flyer or brochure. So transform your pain into a benefit. Okay, so typically, like with Tanya again, a pain is time consuming, can't get to my admin, it wastes my time, it makes me miserable. I mean, we could, like I say, there's often a list of things that your customers have pain in the process. What is the benefit? So that's where you got to put a bit of work in and say, well, this is how I can help you, and these are the reasons why. Then you can add your feature, because obviously that's part of your deal, that's your product. And then you need to tell them what to do. Okay, you always need to end off with a call to action to tell them what they need to do to take action. And then just leading off onto that is wherever you lead them to, make sure that wherever you lead them to talks back to the same message. Do not lead them to a direction that they're going to maybe land up on your homepage of your website and have no idea what to do. Okay, they need to be driven continually based on the message that you're talking about. You need to refer them to that same reference. So let's just look at an example. And Tanya, I've actually used you as well because you asked me a bit about messaging. So I thought this is a good time to share. So let's construct, because I'm going to ask you all to do the same. So let's construct pain point. She knows that the creatives complain because they don't have time to do admin tasks in their business. Okay, that's just a simple one that I've picked. Okay, so typically, are you a creative? That's the headline. Are you a creative? She can even put, are you a designer? Are you an architect? Because she knows her audience is very specific. That's also sometimes a bit of a better hook, because creative might be a bit broad. But if you're going to say, okay, this week creative, next week interior designer, architect, whatever. So are you a creative who struggles to make time to do the admin tasks in your business? So really the guy goes, oh, damn right, that's me. I'm a creative and I'm struggling to find time to do admin in my business. The benefit is not the service yet. It's the, don't worry, you're not alone. That is why I can do your admin for you. So you can focus on the things that you do best. Okay. So benefit is just real stuff. It's just telling a story. There's no fancy jargon. There's no fancy wording. It's just talking. So if you're really talking to that person. Feature, then drop your feature in, whether it's a specific tie or a specific package that you're selling, or a specific course that you're selling, or whatever it may be. With different packages to choose from, you can be guaranteed your admin will be sorted. So already I'm like, oh, okay, cool, there's different packages. Let me go check it out. Call to action, learn more about what packages I have to offer now. Okay, then that would typically go onto her web page, onto her packages page, where they can actually see the different packages and price points. If you can put price points, people love to see pricing, especially now when people are shopping online. People sometimes are a bit reluctant to ask for pricing. So if you can, and you know your pricing is set, put it down. There's nothing to hide. Okay, so that's typically a structure of building a message. Okay, so whether it's on your landing page, or whether it's a message on Facebook, or maybe even an emailer, just always remember to be in the mind of the consumer or the target audience that you're specifically targeting. What is their pain point? How can you help them with your product or service? What is the feature? And then a call to action. Okay, so I'm going to ask you guys to quickly do one as well. So yeah, go for it. Do you have any questions? So you all know who your target market is. Well, let's just pick one for the sake of it, and let's just go with the pain point. But if you have any questions, just shout.
Well, Megan, after...
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Megan, after working with you for so long, I think those things are quite clear at the moment after I've changed everything 100 times. So I think I'm okay for now. So for you guys, it's still new. Megan is brilliant at what she does, by the way. So yeah, thanks for this. This has been great so far. Unfortunately, I have appointment now happening, but yeah, have fun, guys.
Thanks, Bertus.
Megan, is your pain point generally a question?
No. So you could even make
Is it easier to state it as a question?
No, it's not. There's no hard or fast rule. You can make it a statement. Okay, so have you all managed to do your pain point? Have you all got a pain point? I'm going to just open up this camera so I can see everybody, because it's terrible that I can't see everybody. Okay, Melanie, I'm sure you've got a pain point, right? Plenty. Okay. Neil, I'm sure you've got loads, dude. I'm sure top of mind is safety for you. But yeah, I'm sure you have pain points. Renal, you must know. I'm sure you. Yeah, Yolanda, Pranita, all good. Superwoman, Kevin, Justin.
Yep, I'm good.
Okay, so then how do we translate our service or offering into a benefit based on that pain point? Are you all good with that? And then your feature, you cool. Feature is basically one of your products that you do. So for you, Melanie, it would be very specific. It would be vehicle branding or school, what did you call that? Manuals, or training manuals. So it would be very specific thought. Remember, it's not printing in general. It must be something quite specific with your business because you have so many different offerings. Renal, yours could also be like, focus on if it's life insurance, if it's RAs or retirement planning, if it's children education. So that would be, again, your different options. Neil, yours again as well, I guess, would be, bottom, middle, and upper range tires. And then also you could do your brakes as an option or the other features that you offer, your services. So typically with you, as I think we spoke about in the first week, is that you obviously have two audiences. So just remember that this is specific either to walk-in mom or dad and or fleet. Yeah. Okay, so they've got two different pain points. So the benefit's different. And then obviously the product offering is different. Okay. You're all good. Call to action. I think that's an easier one. The only thing that I want on call to action can be go to the website, book a session with me. If you're doing a lead campaign, it could click here to learn more, and they've got to leave their details. It just depends what type of message it is. But just always make sure you channel that call to action through to where they would find more information about that specific service. Don't leave them loose by going somewhere and like not sure if this is the right place, because that's what people do. They just freak out. And that's why we have bounce rates on websites, because if people land on your website and they don't feel that you're talking to them, or they're perhaps in the wrong place, they will just remove themselves quite quickly because they know there's 100 other suppliers out there. Yolanda, you're very quiet. Are you cool? Are you happy with your benefits and feature?
Yes, I've got it all.
Okay, cool.
Sorry, Megan, just on piggybacking on what you were saying about mine, is that if I use that safety aspect and I try and just for lack of a better word, push a product onto people, but for the safety one, I kind of said come down for a 108 safety check on the thing, but then there's just so many different products I can push through the safety aspect of vehicles. That do I just have to, for a specific campaign, you just choose one and kind of go for it?
Yeah. So I
but
would,
then the safety check is obviously we look through your whole suspension of your car, back, tail lights, whatever, check everything and make sure it's 100%. So I could almost push any of those products.
yeah, so I always recommend single-minded message, so single-minded product. So if in your head you want to push what's your tire that you quoted me on? Because I've never heard that name. It comes from Germany.
Thermostat, yeah,
Yeah.
Pointers, yeah.
So say that's one of your like low-hanging fruits because you make good sales on it, you have a good margin, you sell it the most, it's a good tire, then that's what you want to put in the forefront. If people want to go lower because it's a little bit too expensive, or people want to buy Michelin because that's the brand they know and they trust, then you can have that cross and upsell exercise when you've got them engaged. But initially you've got to kind of make a choice, because otherwise it's Michelin, it's I don't know what a low-end tire brand is, but you know, you've got to have one specific. I always just say keep it single-minded. So you need to have an intention. Okay, you've got too much stock of this tire.
It's when you buy from Tiger and Tire.
What?
No, so the line tires is the ones you buy from Tiger Wheel.
Well, you have to have an intention what product or service you have to sell. So if you know your stock, you're getting new stock in of X tire and you know it's a fabulous price, then that's obviously the one that you want to push. If you've got stock of Michelins and they're sitting there and they're not moving, then you obviously need to try and drive them. So it just depends, but always just have one product in mind. It's always that like that thought of the same with the target market, the thought of not talking to everyone, but you actually do. And the thought of not selling your entire product range, but you do. The most important thing we want is we want a customer to engage with us. And once they've engaged with us, then we can manage that. Then we can manage that experience. And then you could even say like, listen, I think for that car that you've got, I actually think you're better off with this product, or vice versa.
Okay. Oh, no, thank you. That answers my question.
Yeah. Always messaging single-minded, one pain point, one benefit, one product offering. And that's why I say if you've got a range of services or product offerings that you do, you have to fine-tune it into one. Try and not say everything to everyone in all your messages, because that's also just going to be a mish of information that's nobody's going to pay attention to. Okay. Are there any questions? Because I think the next up is Q&A. So can I ask somebody, two people maybe, to give us their message? Who's willing to say their message?
I can go.
Awesome. Yolanda, share yours with us.
Okay, so the target market is executives, leadership, management. And the pain point is throwing processes and workflows at a problem, but still not getting the desired outcome. So it's basically whatever, you know, like so many companies would just try and put a process in place or workflow or something like that, and it actually doesn't address a problem. So not fixing anything. And then so my benefit is I can help you find the root of that issue or system or problem. My feature is, in that case, would be my research packages, which includes like a qualitative research within the company, and then a lot of other things also. But just to keep it single-minded.
No, just one, yeah. So it would just be qualitative research.
So the research package would include all those other kind of things that needs to happen. And then the call to action is, you know, like let's set up a free call session, because a lot of times they don't even really know what they're dealing with. So having that conversation is easier than just driving them to material that they can read. And yeah, so give me a free call, or let's book a session or something like that.
I wouldn't just say call, I would say book a session, or put your calendar link or something like that. I wouldn't just say call, because that might be a bit too loose-ended.
Yeah, no, for sure. Yeah, like kind of, it would be structured like, you know, like a session so that we can have a discussion and see what it is.
Okay, I love it. Thanks, Yolanda, for sharing. That was very brave. I know it's not always easy. And then just remember that you are an expert in your industry. Not everyone is an expert in yours. So if you have like kind of fancy jargon, like Renal, I can see going like this, because yes, he probably speaks a language that not many of us really understand when it comes to financial planning. So just remember, we need to make that very simple. Who's the target audience and how they would understand and translate it. Okay, let's have one more person.
Okay,
Oh.
I changed mine
Oh.
completely.
Oh, good. Okay, let's hear yours, Neil.
No, I've changed it to say for target market is fleet, and then is downtime giving you headaches, and making you short of deliveries. Is keep your vehicle on the road with our full fleet management program, and then book a session with one of our representatives so that you can see the features that it can help you in your fleet.
Awesome. Well done. Okay, was it an easier exercise than you thought?
Not bad. First time.
Hey?
Yeah. Once I get wrap your head around it,
Yeah, I think the hardest part is the benefit. It's like, it's so difficult to, why they want their fleet on the road, because obviously downtime is a big factor. But what's the benefit? Well, it's almost like just kind of taking the benefit and of the pain point, and just writing it into a bit of a story, right? So it's that's where the storytelling comes in, and that's where we need to actually get a bit excited. And that's actually what's going to differentiate us, because everyone can sell the same thing. Okay. So were there any key learnings today? Does anyone want to share anything, any aha moments, any breakthroughs, any questions?
Yes, Megan, if I can share. While going through your slides and having those 4 in front of us, it got me thinking about other business ideas. And it's really a wow thing for me, because focusing on financial advising is one thing. And you're right, it's actually easier to break down because we've been doing it at work. But focusing on some other business opportunities really came to light, and I could apply those there.
Awesome. Thanks, Renal. Hope you're feeling a bit better. You sound not so good.
No, I'm fine. It's just the voice. It'll get better.
Thanks for sharing, Renal. Justin, I see you've raised your hand.
Yeah, I just want to say, in the real estate industry, you know how competitive it is. On every street corner, there's another Tom, Dick, and Susan who's either on retirement or they've got nothing else to do, and they then decide they're going to go into real estate. So I have to show my differentiating factor. So I think that my aha moment is obviously, leading with the benefits of using me as opposed to Sally down the road. My proven track record talks for itself. So I think really pushing on that and having a story, telling your story is where it is. So yeah, I just want to say thanks. I really appreciate these sessions.
And that is so awesome, Justin, because that's why in my kind of slogan, as I call it, that I say, your marketing will set you apart and not your business, because it is just that. It's actually, as you've just mentioned, everyone can be a real estate agent. I mean, it's like you say, it's probably some retirement plan for some people as well. That makes me laugh. But the reality is, it's how you do it, and it's who you are. And that's why it's so important for us to define our story and why we do what we do, and making us the differentiator in our business. So I just feel that is a core part that so many people miss, because the biggest and easiest thing to do is to go out and do what everyone else is doing. And we're just never going to win. We're just always going to hit the same thousands of messages out there. And we're going to look like every other real estate agent. So like you say, going in with your story and like your proof, that you have been the top agent, and those are the things that people want. I mean, how long is the property going to sit, and all those things. So, but very much your story is important, is who's the Justin, and how do you bring that to the fore to really make your business different from every other real estate agent.
Thanks, Megan.
Okay, sorry, was there anyone else that had a question? No. Okay, so just to, sorry, I know I'll do it, I'll have to do it probably just one more time next week, because next week will be our last session in July. I may well be extending this for August anyway, just because I'm having so much fun and I don't want to lose everybody that doesn't want to stay on. But I still think, you know, for $375 a month, this is really like, could be a game changer in your business. I know it sounds crazy, but anyway, but let me just go through quickly again. I just want to finish off who should join my Lifeline Learning membership. Startup entrepreneurs, even established entrepreneurs, we can never stop learning. You know, you can always be challenged with something new. You can get to a point in your business where you've kind of reached a ceiling and you're like, okay, but now what? How can I change things up? Small to medium-sized business owners, and then just serious people or business owners who really just want to get their marketing right, okay? But you're not a marketing expert, and that's okay, because business owners aren't expected to be marketing experts. It's just some of these very key learnings that one can learn can really change things and how we actually do things. And even if we're not doing it and people are actually doing our social media for us, you have better insight to say, I don't understand your posts. They're very feature driven. Why are you not focusing on the pain points? Why are you not looking at translating that into a benefit? But without us being aware and having the education and the insight, we're never going to know neither. Okay, so if you don't have enough customers, if you don't know how to stand out, very important, standing out. If you don't know what you say in your messaging, if you want to grow your business, but you're not quite sure where to start. And then if you're spending money on marketing, but not really getting any new leads, that's quite a big one, because often the problem there is we haven't defined an audience. We haven't defined a product or solution that we're trying to get to market. And so we just tend to put out a whole lot of features in our business out in the space that everyone else is doing, and really nobody's going to pay attention. And if you think you can learn something about marketing, so what to expect, as I've mentioned, it's a once a week meet from 10 to 11. It's a group session, business owners led by myself. Each week we'll discuss a specific topic. So it's market, message, media, and then one week we'll have an open-ended topic. This weekly session, the weekly sessions will be recorded. Okay, thanks to Tanya. I will remember to record it. So if you can't join us, you don't lose out. There's also a shared member area on our website for you to go and get the videos, and then some of the Lifeline presentations and videos that we've done. There is also a private group on LinkedIn for you to engage with other members as well. If you have any specific questions, or you want to say, hey, check out my unique value proposition, or hey, check out this message or ad. What do you guys think? Do you think it's good or bad? Building relationships and also just growing your network. I have said the first month is free, which we launched now in July, and then the monthly fee thereafter is 375 Rand per month when it's a month to month. And then you become a Lifeline learner and marketing expert. So next steps, as I say, join us again next week at 10 because you can, or feel free to take my free assessment. It's also just a nice to have to actually see what marketing actually entails. I think often, again, we get caught up in the kind of advertising implementation and not really the key stuff that's going to get us to having results on the different platforms or media that we implement. And then book a 30-minute Lifeline call with me. I'm happy to talk to you if you're really still struggling with something very, very specific now, having gone through a couple of the weeks with me and saying, I'm just not getting this, or I'm just struggling with that. Okay, otherwise that's us for this week. Are there any questions? No. Everyone's pondering. What's my customer? What's the pain point?
I'm good, Megan.
Hey, Renal.
I said I'm good. I love the session.
Okay, awesome. And that's
thanks, Megan. I've got one question. Sorry,
no, that's cool.
I'm always the guy that asks questions. Just on the first part of your thing, I wrote it down. If you having your message out and you're getting everything and you don't have a fixed pricing, so I think you use Tanya as an example. It says, you know, look at this package, it costs you 375 Rand a month for the marketing Lifeline, you know, that kind of thing. We have obviously a wide range of, if you come in with a Uno or if you come in with a Merc,
Yes.
there's just way different pricing. How do you kind of still put in that thought in your head, or thought in the customer's mind of like, okay, this is going to be affordable but quality, or this is going to be this and that, but you know, for your specific, or
Yeah.
do you have to get that specific that you're going to go for LSM that's going to have that bracket?
Yeah, so very good question. So you could use the from factor. So prices from, which obviously does cover. Or you could have a list of the most popular sizes like 13, 15, 16 inch if you want to. Because not everybody has 20 and whatever. I don't know the inches. I don't even know my car. I think it's 15, 16. Or you could even ask them to give your details to send them a free quote. You know, that could be one of your call to
that's a nice one. Yeah. Email for free quote.
And then at least you get their contact details as well. And your space is also quite nice. Like you could do discounting as well. You could do bundling as well, breaks with tires and stuff like that.
The bundling is actually a good idea.
Yeah. But yeah, we talk about pricing as well and how to structure and package. But there's always a way, Neil. There's always a way.
Okay, thanks. No, I'll stop with the questions.
No, don't be shy. This is why we're here. This is to learn, and very important to have one key learning a week, because I'm sure Tanya knows, I can get a very overwhelmed and passionate and talk far too much and give so much information that people just like go, what? So I'd rather like people to go away and create an action or have a learning that they can start implementing. So when they do their next post or they write their next campaign or email, they can actually go, I'm going to do this. Okay. Okay, well, I look forward to seeing you all next week. We're going to be back online at 10 a.m. again. And next week is our open-ended topic. So that's going to be all the questions you have. I'll obviously share a learning because that's just what I like to do and guide a conversation. But really, you're welcome to bring stuff. If you've got a unique value proposition you want to share, or if you've got something that you feel that's maybe not talking to the right audience, bring it. Let's share. He has an audience for us to give real advice and real feedback. Okay. Thanks, everybody. Until next week, you must have a super marketing week and all go and be superheroes. Sorry, Letitia, we're stealing your theme there. Okay.
All good. All good.
Okay, take care all.
Bye.
Bye-bye.